Hi, everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Hello from California.
Yeah,
And
we found the warm spot in the country, apparently.
the only warm spot in North America seems to be California right now. That's where we are. So that's how a good weatherman plans things out 18 months ahead.
Yeah, sure. We'll give you credit for that one. Yes, no, it's been a beautiful day here. We're hearing from friends and family all over North America right now that it's not so great everywhere else. So we're very appreciative of our weather here in sunny California.
Yep, it is 20 degrees today, which is 70, and sunny on top of that. So,
sunny,
so
it's been a wonderful day to get out and sort of walk around and explore Long Beach. We haven't had an opportunity to do that before. We've been to Long Beach before, but sort of just getting into the ship and leaving again. So we decided to stay in Long Beach in between our two cruises we have going on right now. And it's been a nice day here.
Yeah, so we just got off a cruise, a 5-day, enough just to get a bit of a tan. So but we are. I'm not sure how many people joined us tonight, just because we usually do Sunday nights, but it's Friday. It's also Friday before Christmas. People are traveling or trying to travel in the middle of this storm across North America.
Hope everybody's having good luck with that.
So maybe we'll go first. Everybody checking in. We'll see everybody's making out there, and then we'll talk a little bit about the cruise we just got off and the one we're getting on tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
And we haven't had dinner yet. We're usually doing this after dinner time. Seems kind of weird. We're doing an early one. It's 4 o'clock here.
West Coast time.
So Bruce and Todd, you're on for North Carolina.
Hi, Bruce.
Hope it's warmer than it is here. I believe it is.
Yeah.
I would just put a map up before this live showing Jill the temperatures across North America, and she was like, wow, when she saw the blue, that meant cold weather. Yeah. So, definitely much warmer here in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
And we have...
Oh, Sweden. Nice. Hello from Sweden.
Wow.
Oh.
Thanks
for joining us.
I wonder if it's warmer in Sweden than it is North America right now.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. And Jack is saying that it is 12 degrees Fahrenheit with the wind chill. That's wind chill -1. So I don't know. I'm trying to convert that in my brain. That's definitely well into the minus teens in Celsius. Yeah, that's way down there.
Yeah. Not nice there.
We had a little bit of a wind chill today, but I was able to still keep just my t-shirt on.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
You're just being mean now.
Luigi was saying happy we're not in Ontario. Yes, we are, because A, we're on a cruise. B, it's not cold. C, we're not shoveling snow.
It's always a good day when you're able to walk around all day in a pair of sandals, and that's what I was able to do today. So that was nice. Yeah.
And we have Big J.23 here from California, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
And Peter is here. Our English stalker is here.
Hi, Peter.
It's definitely probably warmer in England than it is a lot of North America. Yeah,
for sure.
And Scott's videos is on.
Oh,
happy we're cruising, so are we. Trust me.
That's been great.
And that we're in warmer weather for sure. It was well timed and well needed. And Tanya, Birmingham, Alabama, -8 Celsius.
Oh wow, for Alabama. Wow.
I heard something about the Kentucky governor was telling people just to stay inside. It was so cold.
Really?
I saw that in the news tonight as I was scrolling through things. Yeah.
Wow.
So see why you're going cruising during Christmas, to get away from the cold and snow.
That is definitely part of it, for
sure.
sure.
For sure. Yeah, we have a tough time traveling at certain times of the year with work and stuff. So this is one of the few opportunities, but it was well timed with the winter weather and storm that's blowing up. I heard there's a name for the storm. I forget what the name it was. Start with an E, I think. Edward, something like that. And
Peter
wants to know what we did. We were free time before a cruise tour thing. So what did we do?
Mr. Canuck is known to have a half a dozen things on the go at all the time. He's never bored at all.
I usually have more
a lot of hobbies, a lot of side jobs, all of that kind of thing. So let's see. Let's go through some of them. In the past, since we've been together, you've been a goalie coach.
Yeah, goalie coach. Yep. Golf course construction superintendent. What else have I done?
Emergency
firefighter,
volunteer fire chief,
captain of a fire department, or probably chief of the fire department. I was chief. So there's a lot of stuff. Website designer, weather meteorologist, a whole bunch have become careers, and some have become just hobbies on the side.
Right.
Travel agent, ham radio operator.
Yeah.
I have
He is always busy. You never have to worry about him being bored and not doing anything. Now, I, on the other hand, take a much quieter pace at life. And if I'm not working, well, for many years it was busy raising children and doing all that. But now that we're empty nesters, my spare time majority is reading. I am an avid reader. I love to read. And so if I have a few hours spare time somewhere in the day, I'm usually just picking up a book. I will admit too, I watch a lot of TV. I do have quite a few favorite drama shows that are on television. I would be amiss to say that I don't watch TV daily. I do.
I mean, Amazing Race because of the travel.
And Survivor and The Voice. Those are his favorite shows.
Yeah, one day maybe I'll get on Survivor. We'll see. I've seen there's Canadians on it, so it might be a possibility now.
There you go.
So Karen's there saying hello from freezing Saskatoon, I bet, because you've already had the storm go through, and now you've got the really cold stuff coming in Saskatchewan right now. Yeah. And in Sweden, an update on the weather there, -1.
Oh, so not too bad,
Not too
but
bad, yeah.
colder than what we're having today for sure. But wow.
And Brenda Cecito is here. Cold and snow will wait for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have no idea. We don't expect the snow to be gone when we come home. I'm sure we're going to be going back to a mess at our house.
My snowblower will get a workout trying to get us back in the driveway, I'm sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And colder, YouTube says colder in Alabama than Ottawa.
Wow.
There you go.
That's awful.
Reason to move to Canada right there.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you to Jill for the grace. Yes. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, one of my favorite cocktails that they make on the Holland America, Glacier Blue Dream.
And you did figure out how to make it yourself at home too.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at making that one right now at home. I've got all the stuff for it, and I think I probably perfected it.
Yeah. And I perfected the Crown Royal and Diet as well at home. Yes.
Shocking. Yeah.
Big update about that coming too. Jimmy is here saying hi, Jill and Jerry Snow. Waiting for us.
No, we don't want it.
If it could all melt in the next week before we get home, that'd be really nice.
We'd be happy about that.
I don't think it's going to happen though.
It's really nice to come home to warm weather. Yeah.
And Barbara's here from Ohio. Snowing, blowing everywhere. Car accidents.
Horrible.
Yeah. We've heard the airports are a mess. We've heard the whole east side of North America has been a mess now. Today.
We have friends right now as we speak that are stranded in Florida. Their flight back to Canada was canceled today, and so they're not quite sure when they're getting home. Yeah. And it's happening to a lot of people across North America right now.
I saw overnight temperatures in Orlando were supposed to be well below freezing. Well, that's pretty far south. So so it's not going to get any better in the near term, unfortunately. So look at that, we got through all the first few comments really quick. Right on.
All right.
So let's talk a little bit about today. We just got off a 5-day Carnival Miracle cruise. And a little bit of context: we booked that cruise and the one we're doing starting tomorrow way back in the middle of COVID because Carnival had a great deal.
When cruising wasn't happening.
Yeah, they were looking for ways to get money into the system, so they had offered basically drink packages for about $50 a person
for the whole week.
And they offered cheap cruises, but you had to pay almost the entire cruise all up front. So
I think it was 50% deposit or something. So we paid quite a bit up front.
Yeah, so like a year and a half ago, we booked this and paid for more than half of the cruise. Yeah. And so now we're taking that cruise finally. So, but today, first time something this interesting has happened to us getting off the ship. So we arrived to the hotel here.
And it was very seamless, by the way. We got off. We're staying at the Courtyard Marriott. And
right in Long Beach here.
You know, when you get off the ship, they get you off quite early, and you're checking at a hotel's not till around 4:00 in the afternoon. Anyways, we got here. It was only 9 a.m. in the morning, and I said to the lady, "I know our room's probably not available, but is there a place we can keep our luggage or whatever? Just let me see if I can get you a room." And she did. So a great thank out to the staff here at the Courtyard Marriott. They had us in our room, in our own space by 9 a.m., which really helped us because once we got here, Mr. Kunuk went to unpack a few things that he needed.
And I looked and I thought, I'm missing one of the wires I need to be able to transfer images and video from my camera to my computer for the vlogging we did. And then I looked a little closer. I thought, oh no, I forgot an entire camera on the ship. And so I was in a panic then. So what do you do in this situation? We're trying to figure out how do you get something off a cruise ship when you've gotten off the cruise. Yeah. Luckily on Google, somehow I found an extension number for someone that worked at Long Beach Terminal for Carnival. Really, really lucky. Dialed it up and they just gave the name. They answered and I'm like, is this Long Beach Terminal? And she said, yes. And I said, thank goodness. I said, I was in room number 4132. I left an expensive camera behind and some other stuff. is there any way that I can get that back today if I come back to the terminal? So she talked to me for a while, and she says, you get going back to the terminal and see if you can get a hold of someone there. I'll start doing my thing from my end to see if I can get someone to check your room out, and we'll meet in the middle and see what happens.
So an Uber ride later?
And I end up at the terminal. I walk up and I say, I'm looking for a camera that I left on the ship. And he says, you're Jerry Shields. And I'm like, yep, that is me. And she says, oh, just a second. I'll radio someone in. And they came out, walking out with my camera, the cord that I was missing, and our wireless microphone system that I didn't even realize at that point we had lost.
Right.
So we had lost almost $2,000 worth of gear on their left. I guess I had left, not we. And here we were scrambling to get it back off the ship after we were already in our hotel room. So,
but it couldn't have been more seamless.
Yeah.
Carnival, they had that waiting for him. I mean, in 10 minutes, Mr. Canuck had left the hotel room, had taken an Uber ride there. They had already retrieved the lost or forgotten items,
Yep.
taken them off the ship and had them waiting in the terminal for him.
Yep.
Like I couldn't believe it. I thought
Yep.
it was going to be a whole day affair just trying to
Yep.
to navigate how to get this forgotten equipment back. I thought, here goes our day in Long Beach because we'll spend our whole day trying to get
Yep.
this stuff back. But within 10 minutes, I got a text from Mr. Canuck telling me that he was at the port, already had all the equipment, and was getting an Uber ride back to the hotel. It was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, thank goodness for how easy Uber is. Thank goodness for how organized and good Carnival was with figuring this out.
Mhm.
As I was sitting there asking for my equipment back, there's other people coming up that had left cell phones on the ship, and they were getting their cell
Yeah.
phone.
So they
So-
must be used
Yeah,
to
they
people
must be
doing
used to do
that.
that. Yeah.
But I mean, that was very good. I mean, we've left things before on a cruise ship before. Like I left a cosmetic bag full of cosmetics one time.
Yeah.
You know, little things, not expensive things like what this was. So it was nice when we did leave something very expensive that we were able to have it retrieved so seamlessly.
Yeah.
So
We
we
were-
appreciated that.
Really worried we were going to be short a camera for vlogging the next cruise is where my brain was. But
Yeah.
but-
And we didn't even have the equipment to do a live here tonight because the wires
The
that
wire we
we
needed for
required
this.
was left on the ship. So
But,
all of those little things, but
Yeah.
anyways, it worked out really well. And
I-
again, very thankful for
I
Carnival.
tried to leave the camera behind so I could get a brand new camera, but it didn't work out. So.
Yeah. No, that one's pretty new itself.
Yep, and Tanya says, yes,
Yeah.
thank goodness, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
look at this here.
Okay.
Mm,
So
mm,
we
mm.
just went for a walk today and there was an open air market we came across. And of course, we're in California. You
Mm,
have to try their strawberries. And I have to say,
my goodness,
these
California
are
has great
delicious.
strawberries.
Mhm,
We were in California 16 years ago on our very first cruise.
mhm.
We stopped at a farm on the side of the road. We bought some strawberries off this little fruit stand, and they were phenomenal. So when we saw these today at an open air market, we thought we'd have to try some more California strawberries, and they're just as good as I remember. So very,
Yeah,
very, very good.
They're definitely not like anything we get shipped into Canada from California, for sure. These are just, it's like they've been dipped in sugar and they're just natural. Anyway, you want to go to some questions
Yeah,
now?
I'm just trying to see. Happy to see you live. We met on the water shuttle day one. Oh,
Woo!
Becky. So there we go. So Becky was sitting right next to me on
Yes.
my left-hand side, and
Hi,
I'm trying
Becky.
to think what generated the conversation about
I think she saw your camera.
just my cameras
Yeah.
and asked we put our stuff on YouTube. I said, oh yeah, and that was it. And we actually have little kind of like business cards that have our channel stuff, and Jill had one in her hand, and then Becky was gone, and we didn't get a chance to follow up with her. But
You found us.
yeah, happy to see you, Becky. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
When we get back after our panorama trip, you'll see the vlog footage come out and some of the work from all the cameras and
Mhm.
in our time at Cabo. So you'll be able to kind of
Well, that's
relive
great.
some memories. So
It's
yeah.
lovely to see
Yeah.
people on the channel that we actually met in person.
Mhm.
That's great.
And we'll go up here before we cover too much with the cruise. We'll talk to Peter here. So a COVID-related question. Do you have any COVID-related restrictions on the cruise, as in people wearing masks?
No, some people chose to wear masks.
Yes, there was.
Wasn't required.
Yeah, there was no restrictions as far as the cruising, the buffet, any of the venues, any of the procedures on and off the ship. That was all business as usual. But there were, I would say, one in every, 40 or 50 passengers would have a mask. Would that be about the right number? Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
And it seems to be groups of people. You see a family where they'd all be wearing it, and then
Yeah, true.
Yep.
And some people, it did recommend, they had a little note about COVID in our room and just basic stuff that we've all learned to do now. Make sure you hand sanitize, wash your hands, all those sort of things. And it did say they recommend wearing a mask when you're in a large setting, like sitting down in the theater or whatever. So I saw a few people coming to the theater that would wear a mask if you were sitting close to each other. But no, there is no restrictions. You didn't have to get tested. You didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, no testing, no vaccinations required.
No, they didn't check any of that stuff.
And there wasn't even we covered this on our day one vlog, you'll see eventually, but we were kind of shocked because before COVID, you have to go on a Carnival ship and you have to fill out a questionnaire for health. You know, do you have any sniffles or cold or, you know, that type of, like, any type of symptoms. And that was before COVID.
Yeah.
And then since COVID, we've been filling out health questionnaires nonstop to try to get on cruises. This one, there was nothing.
We had nothing.
Not even pre-COVID health questions. There was zero health questions. There was nothing you had to fill out on the app. There was nothing that you had to fill out at the port. So we were really surprised. So you could have got on there super sick. Nobody would have cared. Well, everyone else would have cared.
No, we would have cared. Trust me. It's still an atmosphere. If you hear somebody coughing in the room, you get up and move to the other side of the room. It's awful to say.
Yeah. And if you're the one coughing.
And saying that, I had a bit of a cough prior to, and I put the mask on if I'm coughing. I don't want to be coughing in public and making people weary of me.
Yeah. So do you call me Mr. Canuck at home, Peter wants to know?
Yeah, sure.
She has a lot of names for me. I'm not sure if Mr. is at the beginning of any of them.
That's awful.
Some have the word annoying in them. Don't forget thumbs up. Oh yeah, Bruce and Tanya reminding us and everyone, if you're enjoying the live, and give us a thumbs up, helps the channel out. We always forget to say that, so I'm glad Bruce and Tanya helped us out. And Chad and Matthew, we've been chatting with them a little bit on and off during the cruise. Yeah. And we picked a good week to leave. Yes.
Yeah, single digits in Atlanta tonight too.
Oh,
wow.
And we have tried to fly through Atlanta when they've had weather like that, and it's not fun in Atlanta Airport when it gets cold and de-icing and all that stuff. Yeah.
It is. Atlanta holds the record for the most times we've missed flights, been held up for weather or whatever. So we do everything we can to avoid Atlanta, to be quite honest with you, because we've missed so many flights from Atlanta connections.
And I think this is our viewer from Sweden. Okay. Any recommendations for a person who's not really? I think there's a word missing in the question. We'll wait and see if Serena finishes that question.
Maybe not really a cruiser. I'm just guessing for first time cruising. Maybe that's what the question's about.
Yeah, possibly.
My phone dinging.
Someone's phone's dinging somewhere in the background. So, okay. So before we get any more questions, then maybe we'll talk a little bit about the cruise as far as anything exciting that happened. Where's your award?
No.
Jill, Mrs. Canuck won an award on the cruise just last night at the Carnival Welcome Back party.
I did.
And I don't see it. I hope you didn't forget it on the ship like my camera.
No, I packed it somewhere.
Oh yeah. So there's a whole bunch of backstory on this. First of all, this is the third time she's won an award at this party. Most people have never won one, especially the people that try. And
I don't try, and that's what he's trying to say. I do not have a competitive bone in my body, which really frustrates him when we play games or anything, because if he beats me, I don't get upset, and I usually say good for you, and he's like, but why aren't you angry that I beat you? Stuff like that. Anyways, so he tries at these things, and so what they have a variety of different things. So one of them is they have a bag full of candy. Guess how many? Well, the one that I won the prize for last night was they had pictures of 8 interior lounges on different Carnival cruise ships, and you had to guess what cruise ship it was. I won, but I didn't get any correct.
Neither did anyone else.
Nobody else in the audience did either, so I really didn't win.
Mrs. Canuck was the only person to try to answer every single one, though. No one else even tried to answer.
Yeah, I guess nobody else filled out 8 answers. I just listed 8 random names of cruise ships, of Carnival cruise ships, and put them in the spot. Now, in saying that, I really thought I had at least 1 or 2 right, but apparently not. So
I can take some credit in this award because I helped her guess one of them wrong. I gave her an incorrect answer. So.
Yeah, he gave me an incorrect answer.
Yes,
anyways,
so
it was just lots of fun. So, it was a really nice welcome back party. It was very personal.
Yeah, we almost didn't go because they've taken away the appetizers. We brought our own appetizers. We brought some chocolate covered raisins to have. And also it used to be where you went to meet the captain. It was kind of a nice affair. They hadn't been doing that since COVID. Right. But big news.
Captain's back.
The captain was back again. The captain
to meet the captain.
Carnival have been keeping their captains locked up tight, I think, because of COVID and afraid that they might catch something and they'd be short staffed.
Yeah, I actually have a picture of me with the captain here somewhere.
The more show and tell we don't have to show people. Oh, but sorry. And what's even more interesting, the captain was not from Italy. Which is odd for a Carnival ship.
First Carnival ship we've ever been on that we didn't have an Italian captain.
Yeah, he was from Croatia.
Croatia.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting piece. Yeah.
For sure.
So, but yeah, the rest of the cruise was really interesting. We had a sea day. Then we went to Cabo, San Lucas, and then we picked up anchor. We headed out, and we came back to Cabo the next day. And that was the plan all along, which everybody kind of laughs at. And everybody's like, why don't they stay the night? Because I would have loved to spend an evening in Cabo.
And the funny thing is, you had to be back on relatively early. Like last shuttle back to the ship was 5 p.m. Whereas why? Because we had nowhere to go. But I think it was all so they could open up the casino.
Yeah.
We think that's why they did it, as opposed to just staying anchored outside off the coast. But anyways, it was still fun. We had a great time in Cabo.
So the way we strategically used those days was the first day was exploring Cabo, seeing what there was to do, talk to some vendors about options of things to do. And then the next day we came back and we did something. We actually did a booked adventure with a company.
The first day we just wanted to explore it. We've been to Cabo 16 years ago. Doesn't look like any place we'd ever been before. It's changed so much. So we just walked around and did some shopping and checked things out and had a good time exploring what Cabo looks like today.
Yeah, and the company that we booked something with, they do all kinds of different excursions. So we'll see what happens. They do parasailing as well. So we'll see what happens next week.
But what we were I obviously, all of you know, I want to go parasailing, but I want to do tandem parasailing. Like I want us to both go up together. But all we saw in Cabo was single people sailing, like parasailing, one person at a time.
Yep.
So I don't know if we might have to wait until we get somewhere else to find where you can do the couple of
you. If you had to go by yourself.
Yeah, I know. You'd be quite happy.
That'd be a tough one to take.
Yeah.
I'd take over the team and just film you going up and flying away on the balloon or the parachute. So a couple more questions we can pop up on the screen here. Chad Matthew, just in response to the Atlanta and flight issues. Yeah. Non-stops to virtually everywhere is our new strategy.
We try our hardest to do non-stop.
Even if we have to pay a little bit extra, we pay for non-stops. And especially going to Fort Lauderdale, they always want to drop you in Atlanta or New York City, and we just go straight there now. Yeah, for sure. That's the plan. And we've got Athena in from snowy Ottawa. Although we hear that Ottawa is warmer than Alabama. That's what someone had said earlier on. So,
yeah.
And our viewer from Sweden.
Oh, she was knitting and typing. Best dinner buffet on any cruise ship?
Interesting. I have an answer.
I know you do.
How do you know?
Because I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say that I think if I had to eat a dinner at a buffet, usually we don't. This is why it's kind of an unusual question in a way for us.
Because we don't do it very often.
But I would say it would be Royal Caribbean.
I knew that's what you were going to say. Yeah, and they do have a very good buffet. I would agree with Mr. Connect. The other one that I would say too is Holland America has a pretty good dinner buffet too, depending on what ship you are in, is what I'll say about that. Because with Holland America, it's a smaller buffet on, say, the new Stadendam as opposed to on the Rotterdam. Yeah. But yeah, Royal Caribbean, definitely they do a good buffet.
Yeah, we've only been on one Royal Caribbean ship, and it's kind of mid-size for Royal Caribbean, I would say.
But it was really good. And I was on one without Mr. Canuck, also Royal Caribbean, and that was the first time I had their dinner buffet, and I was extremely impressed with it. And then when we went together, I said, yeah, I think you'll want to try it. Mm-hmm. So it's true. It's good.
And Jack is saying that unfortunately he needs to change planes in Atlanta for February 24th.
We'll cross everything for you for sure. Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, we haven't always been stopped in Atlanta, but more often than not.
Yeah.
So hopefully by February 25th, the bad weather's worked its way out of the system and moving north.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter from England. How do you deal with the last day sadness on a cruise? Party like mad to make the most.
Yeah, generally.
We kind of started that way. We had the welcome back party, which is endless drinks keep on coming. You'll see in the vlog that we just kept consuming the ones that kept coming.
Yeah, I wasn't even asking for drinks. They just
kept bringing more.
I think I was the only person at the party that was drinking the champagne that they had. Every tray they have a variety of drinks, and there's usually one glass of champagne on the tray. And so I had a glass of champagne when I went in, and I think all the waiters noticed I was drinking it, so they just kept bringing their single glasses over to me. So finally I had to say, no, just water, please.
Yeah, so that's one strategy. But some people, they want to be trying to get off the ship the next morning after drinking too much. So especially if you're getting on an airplane or something like that, or traveling. So some try to not go too wild the last night. For us, we really didn't have to deal with last day sadness today or yesterday, I guess.
Right, because we knew
we were going on a ship tomorrow. But we'll have that in about a week from now. We'll be going through that experience.
Right. But we did have a fun time last night. And I often find, I don't know if the cruise ships do this strategically, but some of their best entertainment nights of programs and what they've got going on like comedy and their main stage shows and all that, it seems to be on the last night because I guess they want you to end your vacation on a bang. So like Carnival last night, they had a great show in the main theater. They had 2 different comedians going on. They had live music going on. Plus they had a mega deck party going on. Like we could have been going all night till 1 or 2 if we really wanted to. We didn't. But there were so many things you had to pick and choose what you wanted to do last night. Yeah.
Yep. So you, and I think one way that we get through it as well is we start planning the next cruise. They're looking forward to the next one. That's one of the strategies. Yes, I think that's one reason a lot of people book cruises on cruises is because it makes them feel better about it. This one's ending, but we got another one coming. We're kind of that way too. Yeah. And Peter says, almost forgot about the parasailing ? Yeah. And so we said last live that we had a bit of a health scare before we left.
Right.
More me than
so
you.
we were waiting for some
we're waiting for some
from the doctor
some
about
people,
him doing any extreme activities.
Yeah, some people have the opinion maybe I should hold off on the extreme.
Yeah, I was pretty much threatened within an inch of my life with my best friend that I wasn't allowed to let him go parasailing this trip.
But I am feeling really, really good, like better than I felt in a long time. I've even lost a bit of weight, so we're parasailing is, I think, back as a possibility next week. If we can get something booked and it's going to play out right when we're in Cabo, and hopefully there's not a lot of other ships there that are kind of competing for business as well, that we can get out and get something booked without having to book it beforehand. We'll see. We watched the parasailing from the ship for 2 days, and it definitely is happening there. So just a matter whether I'm going to have a chance to get on it. So it's not ruled out, and I'd love to do it just to show you all how ridiculous I look as I scream going up with a parachute, and Jill will be laughing at me harder than any of you for sure. And Wanda Drake, I think there was probably an emoji there, but I'm not sure what it was. And there was the answer. I saw Peter must have heard us talking about. Yeah.
So Brenda agrees with me. I'm just looking.
Oh, about Carnival Miracle for the buffet. Yep.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. And Peter's also in agreement with buffet, and then he's talking to him. So there you go.
There you go.
Yep. And do either of us use GPS tracking for your luggage? So yes.
Yeah.
We have the Apple
AirTags.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
In fact, my phone keeps going off every time I leave the hotel today. It's telling me I've left something behind.
Yes, my phone has given me 2 or 3 notices today because we've left.
So we use that. We use it for us. It's just been peace of mind that we know it's on the plane. We know it arrived at the airport when we get there. So we're peace of mind for us. Some people have had to actually use it strategically to be able to help the airline find their luggage. So I think that's where it really shines. Yeah. But one tip that
we've been fortunate, we haven't lost any luggage. We just keep getting ours broken every time we take them anywhere. Another broken suitcase.
Yeah, we broke another suitcase this time through. Yeah.
Every time we seem to get on a plane, we come out with a 3-wheeled suitcase or something like that going on.
Yeah, but Paul and Carol of the Travel over on their channel, they had recommended something we didn't ever think of is don't only just have the AirTags.
Take a picture.
Take a picture of your luggage. So then you can send the airline a picture of your luggage.
What color it looks like, what shape, what kind of identification markings you have on it.
Then you can use the AirTag to say where they should go look for it. And between those 2 things, you can usually, if not get your luggage back, at least get a proper refund for your suitcase if something happens. And we haven't been taking pictures of ours, and we should be. Yeah.
Yes, so that we can prove that it's been destroyed every single time they take it away from me, unfortunately.
We've been going through luggage.
I'm going through luggage fast. I probably should have bought one today.
Faster than underwear. Good evening, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. What are we? The 23rd today. New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve. I'll get this right eventually.
He hasn't had a drink all day, guys.
That's the problem. Yeah. But Christmas Eve tomorrow night, with everybody's dealing with the blizzard conditions, and then at least it'll be snowy for a lot of people for Christmas. So that's the plus side, I guess. Yeah. Yeah,
just as long as everybody gets where they need to be.
Yeah, that'll be people not be able to see family will kind of suck if they can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
even have one for our dog. Yes.
Yeah, we've heard of that too. Yeah, we should.
I think
our dog doesn't run away as much as he used to, but I think it would be handy for some.
When he was younger, we probably could have really used it for sure.
Yeah, and some of our family have a cat that probably should have touched the cat. When I'm watching the cat, I seem to lose the cat, and this would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know some parents that have put them in little wristband watches for their children, for their
Yeah.
young children too.
Yeah, and they'd probably be really good for your teenager. Just hide it in the car before they go out on date night. I think that would be helpful too. Just saying.
Stop.
We just lost all our teenage viewers.
Funny.
Southwest Florida Bulldogs checking in and asking what he missed. What you missed was Mr. Canuck left a couple $1,000 worth of vlogging equipment on the cruise ship, but he got it back thanks to Carnival's really good work and helping us out. So
yeah, all good.
Yep, and it's warmer here than anywhere else. You've missed that. Even probably warmer than Florida. So we lucked out this year. Yeah. And Jimmy saying thanks. I think that's for the advice on air tags.
Yes.
Yes. Glad you're paying attention.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen.
Okay, how do you do with passports, visas, etc. in ports visiting? Do you walk around with photocopies or actuals? Actuals, I think we do.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't be. I do know of people and friends that actually do have photocopies that they take and they leave their actual passport in their safe. I think we did that maybe way back when on one of our first trips, and I think when those passports expired, I never thought to do it again. But yeah, I have a passport wallet that I travel with, and they're always on me in my purse.
Yeah, and you know what? This made me think. We're talking about the air tags at the same time as passports in a backpack or a purse or something. It wouldn't be a bad idea to take those air tags that you fly with and throw them in.
Oh, I do.
And that way, if you lost something, you'd be able to find it.
I did that when we flew to Europe this summer. We had the air tags in our suitcases for the flights, but once we got on the cruise, I took one of the air tags and threw it into the zipped up compartment of my purse, because my purse had my passports and all of our cash and all of that on it, and so I wanted to be able to know where that was. So I took one of the air tags. I was registered to Mr. Canuck's phone, not my phone, because my phone would probably be in the purse anyway, so that he would be able to track where my purse was the whole time. Yeah, just to be safe.
Yeah, and speaking of passports and visas, getting off was a little bit interesting today in Long Beach. That there was only 2 lines for passport options getting off today. There was those with American passports, and then there was everyone else. Didn't matter what else. If you were American that only had a driver's license
or birth certificate.
If you're Canadian with a passport, or even if you had like a Nexus card we'd used at other ports to be able to get off quicker, we didn't have that. Or even if you we were in the same line as even if you were stowaway, whatever, if you didn't have an American passport, then that's where you went. We were in so it was a little bit longer line.
Yeah, we had a bit of a wait because of that.
Yep.
But there's a way to get around it. We didn't realize it at the time. If you had asked a porter to carry your luggage, they brought you to the front of the line and you went right on through.
Yep.
So next week when we get off the Panorama, probably going to pay for a porter to carry my luggage out and tip him, so I don't have to wait in the half-an-hour line.
Yeah. If we would have went through the American passport line, they had the facial recognition system going on, which was quick, and everybody went through that line. Since we don't have that option,
they wouldn't let us do it. We had to speak with a customs agent, which I mean, it was fine. It was easy, but it's just there was a lot of us waiting to do that.
Yeah. And it's kind of odd because we've done the facial recognition in the Florida ports before, so it
they
must
wouldn't let us
work
use
for
that
Canadian.
machine there, so it didn't make sense to me. Yeah.
So Tanya wants to know what the itinerary of our next cruise starting tomorrow is.
Okay.
So they just flipped it on us. Last week they sent us an email saying that they reversed all their ports. So we are now going
same ports, just opposite days than what we thought. So if you had booked a trip like an excursion privately, people would probably scrambling.
Yeah.
If you'd pre-done that.
So we leave on Christmas Eve tomorrow. Christmas Day will be at sea. Boxing Day will be at sea. And then we will arrive in Mazatlan. And then after that, we come north again, stopping in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
And then we come north a little bit more. We go to Cabo San Lucas, another sea day, and then we're back. And if you're a big fan of a certain sitcom from the 1980s.
Not a sitcom, a drama.
A comedy.
70s?
80s? Maybe
70s.
Anyways, that is the Love Boat Run.
Yes,
we are doing
the official Love Boat Run.
Yes,
not on a Love Boat ship.
Not on a princess.
On a Carnival.
Not a Carnival, but Carnival owns Princess now, so we'll pretend. So,
okay.
Yeah, there'll be no Love Boat episodes in the stateroom though, like Princess. That's kind of sad. But we are finally doing the Love Boat Run. Yes. In Europe, we don't need them. Yes, we loved how we could get around Europe without all this.
You're right.
All this stuff at the borders. In fact, we had a friend with us that kept saying, "Why don't we have to show our passports? Why don't we need any?" Like he was astonished that we didn't have to.
Yeah.
But once you're in the European Union, it was free sailing. We loved that type of. Yeah, it was wonderful. That's for sure. And so glad it worked out. I think with my vlogging gear.
Yeah.
And Bruce and Tony are saying that they always carry their passport
cards.
cards. What's a card?
What's a card? Yeah.
That's
Is
different.
that something different than what we would have?
Like we have Nexus cards, but that's different than the passport.
Mm-hmm.
And we have
passport. There's been a time where I have left the passports in and just taken our Nexus cards, but yeah. Anyways.
Laughing at the next question I see coming up.
Oh.
We've given this some thought on the cruise. We're not all the way there. We're really late.
We have been researching while we were on our current cruise.
Yeah, we spent
and actually reaching out to a few people to help make that decision for us. So
we're close. We spent a couple hours in a deck chair on the Miracle, just going through different options and looking at different ideas. We're still looking.
We might have had a drink at a bar, continuing that conversation into the evening one night.
We can't find the perfect cruise, which sounds odd, but we just want the perfect one for everybody, for what we want to do. Nice itinerary, right ship. But failing finding the absolute perfect one, we're just going to find one and announce it. So we're hoping to get that announced when we get back from this cruise.
Yeah, we will.
But
we'll announce it when we're home.
I think we're leaning towards February of 24. I think we have the date roughly either late January, February, but definitely not March, and definitely not hopefully too close to Christmas, New Year's.
Right.
That's kind of the least expensive time of year in the winter time for at least the Caribbean cruises. So I think that's the plan, but we don't have exactly a ship yet. We're still debating between what line, whether it's going to be Holland America, Princess, that type of thing.
Cool.
Yeah. And Glenn is saying that the U.S. has passport cards to make it easier for cruising. So, so you get these with your passport, or they're a separate thing from a passport? I'm curious. I've never even seen this.
Now I'm going to have to ask somebody to show me. We as Canadians, we've never seen this or heard of this.
To hunt down some Americans tomorrow, and that's
ask them if they can show me their passport card. Some stranger I don't know. Yeah, probably won't do that. But one of these days when I meet you guys, you'll have to show me what that looks like.
Yeah. And Peggy's saying, hope you're enjoying your cruise. Yes, we just enjoyed the first one. We had a few bumps and hiccups along the way with Carnival, very similar to some of the stuff we saw in Europe, so not shocking to us. And we'll get into that. Maybe we get all the questions covered here. We'll talk a little more about any of the bumps, but it was a cruise, and it was wonderful. All cruises are. So set course for an adventure. Oh,
that's a line from the jingle for Love Boat.
Singing along, of course.
No.
That's singing voice.
Yeah.
No. Lucky at home, St. Catharines, it's all for it. Yeah, that's what we're hearing from everybody. And I have a webcam at our house, I guess. And I was looking at it this morning, and we've got like a foot of snow in the driveway. So we definitely are getting lots of bad weather. Yeah. And Southwest Fort Walton, so you can have either or both. Oh, wow. So a little bit similar to what we're doing. Like we have a passport and we have a Nexus card. And my understanding is, can you have either? Mm-hmm. Can you have a Nexus card without a passport? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we kind of had that option, just a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Our Nexus card is kind of like a get out of jail free card when you were going between airports and different. We can go to that faster to the fun line is what we refer to it as, because you're able to get through a whole. What's it called? Global
entry.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It allows
passport cards and passport books. So that's interesting.
Okay.
You need to get on the Canadian government.
Canada doesn't do anything like that we're aware of.
No. Our additional costs. Okay.
They work for cruising but not flying.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
Okay.
Oh. We're always very fascinated when we hear of Americans that cruise with just a driver's license.
Right.
Because that's definitely something we've never had a chance to do. I'm not sure if we could ever do that out of Vancouver. Try that next year.
No.
Oh. And Peter wants to know.
Nope. Has not happened to us. Fortunately, knock on wood.
If it was going to happen anywhere, it probably would happen in Nassau.
Yeah.
We've had some shady experiences in Nassau, and we've had some cruises where they actually advised us not to leave the port area.
Off the port, the secured port area, because the crime rate was so bad in Nassau. Now that was one of the captains came on and told us that a few years ago.
Yeah.
We've been very, very fortunate. Our biggest crime that we've ever had happen to us actually wasn't at a cruise port. It was on our way to a cruise, and it was in New Orleans at the airport there. We had flown into New Orleans, and we were on our way to go right to the ship, and we're waiting for our luggage to come down the carousel, and they don't have a secured area where the luggage comes down. Anybody can come into the arrivals gate area. Anyways, I looked, and all of a sudden I saw that there was a lady that grabbed my suitcase off the luggage carousel, and she just took off running with it. And I yelled at her from across, there's hundreds of people in the terminal. I yelled at her to stop, that she had my luggage. I thought at first it was a mistake, but then I realized that she was running away from me, that she knew what she was doing. And so as she was getting to the door, there was a very large gentleman coming in, and I yelled at the man, "Stop her, please." And when she heard me say that, she dropped my suitcase and took off running. So that's our closest we've ever had to anything. And that was, like I said, in the airport itself.
Yeah, we never had any problems at hotels. We've never had any problems on cruises, in the cabin, or at a port.
Yeah.
Hopefully that continues, knock on wood.
Yeah.
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 And Shelby says we have Nexus cards also in the U.S. handier than the U.S. passport. So and we knew that it was an option for Canadians and Americans.
Yeah.
I thought also Mexico was in on that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Not sure either. Yeah.
And I have to use the passport card to fly
domestic, but you need a passport book to fly internationally. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
So Carnival Miracle, just to wrap it up, most impressive thing for you in Carnival Miracle was?
I think I gave you an answer before. Now I've lost what I was going to say.
Lost what it was?
I forgot my answer now. We talked, I had told you last night when I was going to bed what impressed me the most about the cruise. Now I forget what it was. Isn't that funny? I guess it wasn't that great. I mean, I'll give you a few of the highlights for me. First of all, the ship had just been in dry dock, and so the furniture had all been refurbished. The seats and all of the fabric, it was all new and clean and fresh. And so the ship looked very new and fresh because of that. So the cleanliness and all of that ship, it didn't look the age of what the ship is. So I appreciated that. We thoroughly enjoyed the Alchemy Bar and the staff there. We had an amazing cabin steward that within minutes of meeting us had brought me extra hangers because, I brought too many dresses, gave us extra pillows. He was there all the time, helpful as can be. The staff was great.
Plus he saved my camera gear today and made sure I could get my camera gear.
Yeah, we kind of wish we were going back on the Miracle today so we could tip him extra. I mean, we did already give him an extra tip, but after getting that camera equipment returned, we feel like we really owe them now. But so those were my highlights, I would say. Yeah,
and low lights, they're not really low as in destroying the experience of a cruise. Still a fun cruise overall. Yeah. But I feel that Carnival keeps making these tiny little cuts and little funny things. Unless you cruise Carnival 20 some odd times like us, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Yeah. But we go to something, we say, oh, that's not available anymore.
There was a lot of.
It's like death by 1,000 cuts. It feels like there's
little things being gone away, just like the truffle fries at the sandwich place no longer have truffle fries. You can't have them. The chocolate caramel cookies, they no longer have those. Stuff like that.
The little nacho chips at the Blue Iguana Cantina that you have with the salsa, no longer available.
Can't have those.
Like little tiny things like fresh ground pepper or Parmesan cheese at dinner, or the waiter pulling the chair out as the lady sits down at the little tiny etiquette things. Piling in the food onto your table. When you usually get one appetizer, when you've done that one, they bring another one. When you've done that, they bring
if you're having soup and salad, they're bringing it to you both together, the soup and the salad together.
Your table's got food everywhere.
Whereas you used to always have one or the other and then given your second one. So stuff like that.
So it was all kind of little stuff, like stuff that definitely doesn't ruin the cruise. And we only noticed it because we've had different service at Carnival in previous cruises, and this way we noticed the difference more than we noticed the negativity, I guess is the way.
I guess so.
So but all in all, good cruise. Next week will be our Carnival cruise, our last one that we have booked. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes well. Or we may be cruising a lot of other cruises, but we'll see. It'll be our 23rd Carnival cruise tomorrow.
Wow.
Hit the like button, Glenn is saying.
Yeah, thank you.
And Chad and Matthew, do you like Christmas cruise experience? So the cruise line makes most. So
yes.
So this is one thing that Carnival does phenomenal.
I will say that.
So we deliberately, these two cruises, we wanted to make sure the vlogging experience for everybody to watch was different for sure.
Right.
We don't want to blend them together as Christmas cruises. We didn't cover much of the Christmas stuff that happened on
this week.
Even though there was a lot of stuff for Christmas, we didn't film a lot of it. We just did other stuff instead. Because our plan is to actually cover all the stuff that Carnival does for Christmas in the vlog starting tomorrow on the Panorama.
And you'll be really impressed. Yeah. I mean, they've been doing it for years, what they've done. We have cruised Carnival over Christmas. We have cruised Holland America over Christmas.
That's the only two.
Those are the only two over Christmas. And Carnival, I have to say, they go far and beyond with making it a Christmas cruise as opposed to just a regular nice vacation.
Yeah,
they do up their game for that, and they have some special fun stuff planned that you get to take part in, and we enjoy it.
Yeah, they have they have snow machine in the main atrium falling down on people as you're singing Christmas carols with a huge gingerbread. For the kids, they have.
They do a Christmas pageant.
Christmas pageant
that we're all welcome to go.
Everybody goes and watch and
perform with the actual stage singers with the children involved.
The children sit up on the stage
like
with Santa, and they all get a gift from Santa on the stage.
Yeah.
And then they bring in all the crew that's there as well from across all the different countries of the world that's there representing all their families that they can't be with. So it really makes for an interesting kind of.
They do it really well.
Yeah. I think we've done it on Holland America. Holland America, they had Christmas music playing. They had some trees. They had some decorations. And
they all decorate their ships really well. Don't get me wrong. Holland America does a great.
And I think because it is family and children oriented, goes above and beyond Christmas.
Yeah. They have a place where kids sit down in the atrium and write letters to Santa.
And then the crew actually answer all the letters back to the children.
And send them to the kids' rooms. So, I mean, we did all that with our children when they were younger. So maybe that's why we love it so much, because our kids got to experience that. But it's even now nice traveling as an adult without small children to see that joy. When the last time we were on a Carnival cruise for Christmas, there was a little girl standing next to me with her dad. And I was there with my adult children, and they started the fake snow in the atrium singing Christmas carols. And she just yelled out, "I've never seen snow before." And she was just like in tears. She was so happy. The whole room just turned to her, right? Because it was so magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they do it really well. That's for sure. Holland America, beautiful gingerbread. Yeah. I filmed a little bit of the gingerbread house a couple of days ago there on the Miracle. And I do believe that Holland America is much more extensive. They had a real train set going around, and
They have a lovely setup there.
Yeah, they do it really well. And Peter's saying thanks for taking time between cruises. Yeah,
thanks, Peter.
Yeah, we were dying to get in touch with everybody. I knew everybody would be wondering to see what's going on. We also want to be able to say Merry Christmas to everybody before the actual date. We didn't want to pick up and leave without having a chance to thank all of you for showing up, especially on a Friday night before Christmas. Yeah, and all those that are going to watch this in repeats as well.
We thought about trying to do a little bit of a live on the ship, but unfortunately, our internet on the Carnival one we just got off of, we weren't even allowed to reach out to the family because it wasn't strong enough to. So there's no way we could have done it live on the ship because I couldn't even FaceTime our children. So
no, the internet was not great. That's definitely somewhere that Holland America has been better, and so was Royal Caribbean. Carnival, I hear that it's worse on the older, smaller ships and better on the newer ones.
So hopefully
we'll find out tomorrow.
Will be better for sure.
Yeah. And Chad and Matthew are saying that Holland America gingerbread house making us want to book one. Right? Yeah, they're pretty. I've always wanted to eat the gingerbread houses, but
yes, he always has.
Someone won't let me do it.
To tell him
I always
want
to break off a piece and have a little try. Not allowed, especially the icing. Brenda's giving us a thumbs up. Peggy says she'd love to do a Christmas cruise.
Yeah, I think everybody should do it at least once. I really do. I mean, they're more expensive, but generally they go above and beyond to make it a little bit more,
Yep.
One thing that we didn't say that Carnival does in the past, and we'll see tomorrow whether they do that, but if you're cruising over Christmas, when you get on board that day, they welcome you on board with champagne as they meet you up coming on board to welcome you onto the holiday cruise.
Yep, and they do a special, usually Christmas Day is a formal day, and they have a special menu for that as well. Yeah, and sometimes
which Holland America did too.
Yeah, and sometimes they make your own meatloaf for you, so just gotta ask. This is an interesting question because we've had this debate before.
So many people have had opinions on this one with us, Lisa.
Yeah, we've had some people that have said we always choose port side because that way when we get to our destinations that side is facing to the port. And we know that isn't actually the way it happens. That's just coincidence. But we've been watching lately, ever since we've heard this debate the last couple of years. We've been watching every time we go to port, and we've had some starboard side rooms and cabins, and every time we look at it, thinking, we wish we had the other side of the ship. So I don't know, maybe.
So maybe there's some truth to port side.
I've heard a captain or cruise director be asked this question at one of their Q&As before.
Yeah.
And they basically said that they don't even know what side of the ship is going to be up against the port until they get there and they're configured, and the pilot tells them how they're going to be positioned today. So I don't think there's really anything to it, that it's luck of the draw. But it seems, ever since we've been watching,
we're probably 50-50 with each. We don't really pick because of one particular side.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, I don't think so, no.
No.
And if you're on port side going, say, south to the Caribbean, you're going to get morning sun, and then coming back, you're going to have shade in the afternoon when it's hottest. So it depends what you want, but it's, we've not been able to figure out a cruising strategy that really makes a difference on port or starboard yet.
Yeah. Although I have to say, probably my favorite cabin that we ever had was on New Stundom, I believe it was last Christmas, where we were forward facing window, and we just looked out over the bow of the ship the whole week.
Yeah,
loved
which was perfect. Coming into port,
location.
You saw everything.
You saw everything.
Yep.
It was the best cabin location we had when it came to a view. We didn't have a balcony. It was just an ocean view, but it was a gorgeous ocean view every day, all day long.
So there you go. There you go, Lisa. Choose forward facing.
Forward facing
Actually,
is my favorite.
Friends of ours are doing an aft facing stateroom when we go
balcony,
to Alaska. So that'll be interesting to see how aft facing is.
Yeah.
And Tanya, Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Not long now. Tomorrow night, Santa will be packing up his sleigh. And I wonder if we can do the Santa tracker to see when he comes close to our cruise ship.
Comes over the cruise ship.
I usually have the Santa tracker.
I think they did do that actually.
I think Peter, say Merry Christmas. Love you. Thanks, Peter, for joining. Especially that you're even more hours different. I think you're 8 hours difference from us here in Los Angeles. So you're like midnight again. So. Yeah, for Peter, it actually is New Year's Eve day right now.
Yeah, it is. That's right. Happy New Year's. Not New Year's. You've got me doing it now. Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas. Everybody's giving our Merry Christmases. We still got 9 minutes to talk about the panorama and the things we're looking forward to.
Sure.
Merry Christmas. Have you cruised out of New York?
You haven't clicked on it?
North. So we've cruised out of New York, and ironically, we cruised out of New York on the Miracle that we just got off.
We did.
Years ago.
That's right.
But we went south.
We did.
Yeah, so we've never gone north.
We've never gone north.
We had that discussion on the plane flying here, I believe, for this trip, that we were like, maybe we should do. I think people might want to see us cruising up into Canada and doing the East Coast.
Yeah, we'd like to do it.
Yeah.
It's not we don't want to do it.
That's usually
it just hasn't gotten around to it.
It's also usually a fall cruise, and usually we don't get time off work in the fall, but hopefully that'll change in the coming years, and we'll be able to do that one. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to be able to drive to a cruise port or drive back from one. That might be an interesting option.
It's a bit of a drive for us, but I guess it's doable.
Yeah. And Southwest Florida Bulldog, enjoy your holiday and cruise. Can't wait to see the videos. Yes. Yeah, we've been having lots of fun filming them. We got a new camera we've been playing with. People watching us on Instagram. We've had some kind of interesting views of the ship with our 360 camera. Yeah. So and we did a really interesting excursion with the camera as well. Yeah. So panorama, we got 8 minutes to talk about panorama and how it's different than what we're seeing. So first of all, we're going to be doing all Christmas. So it'll be all Christmas, and you get to hear Jill singing carols.
I'll try my best not to, guys. But yeah, I've realized now a few times since we've been vlogging, we've been at like piano bars on Holland America ships or whatever, and I'm singing along, and all of a sudden Mr. Connect turns on the camera without me warning. Nobody needs to hear my voice when I'm singing. Sorry. So now I try to mouth the words as he's filming if that happens.
See, and I've heard my voice, and I'm like, wow, I really got it.
You got it. Yeah, there you go. Another side job for you.
Another side job we can do singing. So maybe we should be going to karaoke. Oh, it's not that funny, you know.
Okay.
And how many times did you sing to Neil Diamond last night? Everywhere we went, Neil Diamond was playing. We were bop, bop, bop. Did you hear that?
Yeah, follows me around. It really does.
Yeah, Mrs. Kanaka said that I would prefer not to ever hear that song again unless Neil Diamond is singing it to me on a cruise ship, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a cruise ship, but the next time I hear that song, I just want it to be actually coming from Neil Diamond.
Yeah, so, but, I got sidetracked. I was going to talk about the panorama. I got talking about you singing for some reason.
We're talking about Christmas.
Christmas. So panorama, I'm excited to get to Guy's Smokehouse. I like that. I've been on the Dream Class ships before. I really like that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something new. It's a different layout, different ship, but for us, it's a brand new class of ship. We've never been on this class of ship before.
No, we were booked on it a few times, but the pandemic didn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, Panorama was actually the last ship built before the pandemic, and it was the last ship built before the new Mardi Gras class. And so it's a relatively new ship, even though it's been around since the end of 2019. It was didn't sail for a long time during the pandemic and just started again in the last year or so. So really the ship is less than 2 years old when it comes to the wear on it from the passengers. So, so that'll be exciting. We also have a spa room.
Right.
So that's going to make it interesting. We're going to show you how the spa life looks on Carnival with a spa cabin on Carnival.
Yeah.
You get full access to the spa facility. We'll show you what it's like to be on one of the newer Carnival ships with the spa experience.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting because that sounds lavish and it's going to be wonderful. It is a nicer stateroom and nicer amenities. Oh, it's an inside cabin. So inside cabin, spa is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we've never had that before. So we have had spa cabins before, but they've always been balcony rooms. This will be the first time we're in an inside room.
Yeah, and to Lisa's point there, port or starboard, I guess if you're an inside cabin, it doesn't matter where you're facing. Mm-hmm. So we won't, I don't even know what side of the ship we're on. It's going to be, we're way up high in a spa room. That's all I know. So I'm not sure. It might be a lot of foggy vlog coverage from walking in and out of the steam rooms in the spa. So.
Yeah, might not be great coverage.
Anything else about Panorama you want to cover before we get to the last few questions?
No, I don't think so.
You're looking forward to it? 2 new stops we've never been to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Going to Puerto Vallarta and
Mazatlan.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not sure what we'll do. We watched Love Boat for years and years, and I'm trying to remember some of the stuff they did there. But
oh yeah, so you think you had to come back with the great big Mexican hat?
I think Gopher and Isaac. Had a racehorse that they raced there.
Oh, they did.
Yes,
yeah,
so I'm not sure if that's an option for us to go to the races or not.
Yeah.
We're gonna find something to do. I'm sure of it. Yes. They all seem to come back with the big Mexican sombreros, which is so funny because we saw someone coming back on the ship.
There was a young 20-something-year-old guy with one today getting off the ship.
Big sombrero.
He had this great big giant sombrero. Hopefully he wasn't trying to get to the airplane or get to the airport to go on a plane.
We've heard that airplane they won't let you on with those. No. I'm not sure why, but
they no space. They're huge. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was something Love Boat always happened when they stopped in Mexico. Yeah. So
thank you,
Lynn. Up in Elliott Lake, I believe.
Yes.
And Lisa saying, thank you, Merry Christmas. Christmas, the favorite. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I loved it. And as long as you don't want a balcony. I mean, maybe some ships, they do have a balcony there, but these were all ocean-facing view ones.
Yep.
We loved it. Yeah.
Peggy says the 360s are amazing. And that's what we're finding. For us, vlogging, it's really interesting because we carry this around. We can get any angle we want at any time. So we go back and review the footage. We should miss nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that, especially on excursions when you're doing kind of exotic destination stuff. You're not sure which way to look. We can look at all different directions and put it in the vlog. So we're excited to show you what that looks like. Yeah.
For sure.
And Big J33 from California saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. And Peter saying we need to hear Jill singing.
You're not my favorite anymore, Peter.
Sorry. Peter's going to withdraw that comment. Now you can't be his favorite.
No. So I don't know if you guys can tell around are we 4 weeks ago now that I had laryngitis? Yep. My voice is still not where it normally is. Every now and then when I talk, it's still got this croaky sound to it. And when I really notice it is when I'm trying to sing. I have absolutely no ability to sing right now. So I don't know if it's going to be permanently like that because, I mean, I had laryngitis pretty bad. It was 5 days of nothing coming out of my mouth. And that's something because I talk a lot, as you all know. But anyways, I definitely don't have a singing voice. I never had one prior to it, but I definitely don't now.
It's not that bad. In Sweden, so you're from Sweden?
Christmas presents in minus 11 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're way ahead of us.
You get to celebrate it before everyone else.
Some people open gifts on Christmas Eve, and some do Christmas morning. We were always allowed to open one Christmas Eve, and then the rest of the morning. Yeah,
me too. My family did the same as yours. Yeah. We had the same tradition.
Merry Christmas. And Chad and Matthew are saying we had a forward corner wraparound balcony in Alaska. It was amazing. Very windy. That's true.
Yeah, it would be windy. You're right.
Yeah, we had a pretty windy day yesterday. It wasn't because the weather was rough. It was just the ship was moving, I guess, a little bit into the wind. It was really windy yesterday. Scott's saying excited to see Christmas videos. Yeah, we'll be doing lots of Christmas coverage for sure.
We will. Yeah.
And there we are, 58. We got 1 minute left, so I think that's a good time to say thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, we hope everybody has a safe and happy holidays.
Yep, and I know we have friends and family also probably watching the live tonight or be watching a replay. So we love you guys. Wish we were there to see you.
Merry Christmas.
But we're cruising. So we saw you all before Christmas, or some of you after. But yeah, we wish you're all coming with us on cruises.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
That's right. For
All
sure.
the family should be on the cruise.
Yeah.
Couple last comments. Peter's saying, sorry, Jill, you don't have to sing. Oh, Peter's now. There you go.
Oh, you didn't show it though. You're
No.
reading it, but you didn't show it.
There you
Thanks, Peter.
There you go.
There you go.
And Southwest Florida Bulldog will close us out by saying safe and fun travels and stay safe, everybody. I know that the weather sucks out there and you're all trying to get around to see family for Christmas. So hopefully get to where you want to get to. And we will be back. We won't be back doing our live until January 1st is a Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So January 8th be the next time that we are going to be live again.
Right.
So
yeah, we're going to be traveling next Sunday.
yeah. So Merry Christmas.
Flying.
Happy New Year's, because we're not going to be around to say Happy New Year's to you. It'll be the new year. It'll be 2023 the next time we do
Follow
live.
us on Instagram though, and we'll be posting stuff throughout all of those that timeline then.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Stay safe, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Bye-bye, everybody.